So I think it's finally time to reveal my predictions for this upcoming 2019 NASCAR Cup season. This is only for the Cup Series. This is not for Xfinity or Truck Series. I have 12 predictions that I've done, and we'll see at the end of the 2019 season how many of them I got correct. Hoping for at least 10. 10 would probably be the best. It's very possible that this will be 0 as well. But let's kick it off. Number 1 is that Ryan Blaney will win the Daytona 500. For some reason, I just feel like Fords have right now a bit of a play advantage, especially since they have been such like a tight-knit group that they have really just kind of put themselves up front all the time. They have some of the best handling cars in the super speedways, and I think they have some pretty good engines as well. So I think Ryan Blaney will win the Daytona 500 for 2019. He almost did last season, so I think it's a pretty safe bet to pick him. And then for number 2, I have that Martin Truex Jr. will win the Coke 600. So I'm basically going to go over who I think will win the 4 Crown Jewel races first. Obviously, the Daytona 500, the Coke 600, the Southern 500, the Brickyard 400. But I think Truex will win the Coke 600 once again. Once again, don't really know what's going to happen with this new package. So for all I know, someone could be better at the package and just absolutely dominate, or it just could be completely random. But I think Truex is good enough at Charlotte to where I think he can hold track position if he gets it. And for number 3, I have that Denny Hamlin will win the Southern 500 this season. He won it a few seasons ago. He became encumbered because of that with like an illegal car or whatever. But he's been pretty good at Darlington over the years. Obviously, this new package, we don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think Hamlin will still prevail at Darlington. He's always pretty good there. And for number 4, I have that Kevin Harvick will win the Brickyard 400. I don't know why I just kind of picked Harvick. He was pretty good there last season, and I don't think Ford's really lost all that much throughout the off season. Obviously, once again, different package. So who knows who will win those races? But for number 5, this is probably my most out on a limb prediction, maybe my most bold prediction. At least one track will break a record for number of lead changes this season. However, a track will also break a record for the least number of lead changes in a race. So basically, what that means is I think a track will break the number of lead changes that they have had in a race. So they will get the most number of lead changes they have had in a race. But I also think that either that same track or a different track will break a record for the least number of lead changes. So it is possible that could happen. I feel like that will be a product of this package, that it will work at some tracks and at others it will fail miserably. So that's why I think that one track will have the most lead changes ever seen. Another will be one of the worst races that track has ever seen. That is my 5th prediction. For number 6, I'm saying that there will only be 2 last lap lead changes this year. That is actually kind of a big statement, because last year in 2018, there were 5 last lap lead changes. 5 in all of 2018. The only other time that happened, and I remember going back and doing this, was like 19-something. It was like 1970-something or 1980-something. So like I went back to the modern era of NASCAR, and I think it was like 1980-something maybe when it last happened. I'll definitely put it on the screen whenever it happened. But yeah, in all of the modern era of NASCAR, only twice has there been 5 last lap lead changes for the win, and it happened last season. In 2017, there were 4. In 2016, there were a good amount. So it is kind of bold to actually go out and say there will only be 2 last lap lead changes this year. When will it happen? I don't know. It could be at super speedway. It could be at 1.5 mile, 2 mile, a short track, a road course, whatever it be. There will only be 2 last lap lead changes this year. So that's my prediction for number 6. For number 7, I have that only 12 drivers will win races this season. Now that's kind of a bold prediction, because this package is meant to produce more parity and more winners. But in my mind, only 12 drivers are going to win races this season. Whoever it may be, I don't know. But that is my prediction right now. That could be incredibly wrong, because there could be 18 winners, there could be 19 winners, or there could be something like 10 winners. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it will be more than 12, but that's my bold prediction. There will only be 12 drivers who will win races this season. For number 8, I have that 1 race win will be given to the second place finisher. I think that only 1 race this season, a driver will be found with a DQ, and their win will be given to the second place finisher. So I don't know when that will be, but that is my prediction that we will see the DQ rules come into play, and NASCAR will have to put the hammer down, and that driver will lose their win due to it. So I think that will only happen once this year, though. I think once it happens, teams will maybe scale back a little bit. Maybe it will happen later in the season to where during the playoffs, those playoff teams, they probably aren't going to be pushing the limits as hard as they maybe should be. So I think that's what will happen there. For number 9, this kind of goes along with number 7. I say that 5 drivers will make it into the playoffs on points, which is basically saying that there will be 11 winners in the regular season, and then 5 will make it in on points, and then basically saying that someone new will win during the playoffs in the 10 races. So I say that 5 drivers will make it into the playoffs on points, which isn't too unrealistic because, with this whole playoff format, we've normally seen 3 to 5 drivers make it in on points. So it just depends, what will this package do in terms of different amount of winners? I don't know. But in my mind, 5 drivers make it into the playoffs on points. And number 10, my number 10 prediction is actually a pretty big one as well. I say that a team will finish 1, 2, 3 in a race this season. This will also count 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I'll add on Paul Menard for Penske, just because he's basically Penske. Wood Brothers and Penske, they're basically allianced. I would say Menard finished like 3rd, and 2 Penske cars finished 1, 2. I think it just depends. But I say that a team will finish 1, 2, 3 in any race this season, no matter what the team is. It could be JGR, Hendrick Motorsports, Penske. It could be someone. So I think that a team will accomplish that feat this season due to how this package is going to be, and I think that they will be able to line up and just kind of protect each other out at the front. Number 11, I don't think this is really too big of a bold prediction, but I say that another big-name driver will retire at season's end. I mean, we have seen big-name drivers retire ever since 2015. Jeff Gordon in 2015. 2016 was Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards. 2017, Dale Jr., Danica Patrick, Casey Kane. So I think this year another big-name driver will retire, and it's most likely looking like it might be Kurt Busch. That might be on his way out, but he might shock us and stay, but I think that another big-name driver will be on his way out of the NASCAR Top Series at the end of 2019. And for number 12, you may ask me, who's going to win the 2019 Monster Energy Cup Series Championship? I'm going to say none other than Mr. Kyle Busch, and here is the reason why. He has stated numerous times that this package drives exactly, if not exactly, very, very close to how the Truck Series package runs. And what has he done in the Truck Series? He has done a lot, and a lot good. And he probably has the most experience with this package due to all the races he has run in the Truck Series and whatnot. So I think that Kyle Busch, he will win a good amount of races this season. He'll make the chase, and he will win the championship come Homestead Miami Speedway for his 2nd Cup championship. So those are my 12 predictions, some of which are out on a limb, some of which maybe aren't out on too big of a limb, but we'll just have to see how these predictions go. Hopefully I could get at least half of them right. If I could get 6 of the 12 right, I will be happy enough, because these are some pretty bold predictions. These are some weird predictions that it'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. We'll see how 2019 goes, and hopefully most of these are right. If I get 6 right, I'll be happy. So that was it. Thank you guys for watching my predictions for the 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season. Looking forward, to the duels coming later this week on Thursday, and then, of course, the truck race, the Xfinity race, and the Cup Series race, and then we get forward to tracks like Atlanta and whatnot. We'll see how this 2019 package really works out in terms of, 1.5 mile tracks and whatnot. So I'll see you guys for the next video.